called me to build a successful marketing company, grow the revenue, get more clients, build a bigger team, and increase profits. But somewhere along the journey, God completely changed the direction of my business, and I never saw it coming. Because I realized something that most business owners, including Christian business owners, completely miss. Your business isn't the mission, the people are. The clients, customers, patients, employees, subcontractors, even the vendors that you interact with every single day, they are the reason that God entrusted you with your business. Today, I want to challenge you in the way that you think about leadership, because if you get this wrong, we can build a successful company while completely missing the people God intended for us to serve. Welcome back to Watchpost Partners. This podcast exists to help business owners lead with biblical wisdom, steward what God has entrusted them with, and build businesses that create kingdom impact, not just financial success. Today, we're going to talk about leadership. Not leadership books, not leadership styles, not leadership techniques. We're talking about the kind of leadership that Jesus modeled. Because if we're honest, most of us started our business thinking that the goal was to build something successful. But Jesus would say that the goal is to lead people well. One of my favorite moments in scripture is found at the beginning of Jesus' ministry. Peter wasn't a preacher. He wasn't a pastor. He was a businessman, a fisherman. Fishing wasn't just his occupation, it was his identity. It was what provided for his family. It represented security and success. Then Jesus walks on the shoreline. He doesn't tell Peter to become a better fisherman. He doesn't give him strategies to increase his catch. He simply says, "Follow me and I will make you fishers of men." And scripture says that they immediately left their nets and followed him. I've always thought about that verse from Peter's perspective. But recently I started asking, what were the nets? The nets represented everything Peter believed his future depended on. His comfort, his security, his career, his paths. Jesus wasn't against fishing, but he was expanding Peter's purpose. I think Jesus asks business owners the exact same question today. What are your nets? Maybe your net is the revenue or recognition. Maybe it's growth or awards. Maybe it's being the biggest company in town. And none of those things are wrong. But if that becomes our mission, we're completely overlooking the people that are standing right in front of us. Here's what changed things for me. For years, I believed that building websites, running SEO campaigns, managing marketing was all that it was. But God slowly revealed that no, Ashley, you are leading people. You are serving people. You are to be encouraging people. You're helping business owners carry burdens that they don't talk about. That realization really transformed my business because suddenly every interaction mattered. That difficult client, they're someone's son or daughter. That frustrated employee, they're carrying struggles that you may never know about. The subcontractor, they have a family depending on them. The patient that just walked into your medical practice, they're scared. That customer, maybe they just needed someone to treat them with dignity today. Leadership begins when we stop seeing people as transactions and start seeing them as people. Imagine walking into work tomorrow with one question. Who has God entrusted to me today? Not what can I sell? How much money can we make? How can I close this deal? But rather, how can I lead this person well? Maybe leadership looks like listening instead of rushing. Maybe it looks like giving grace instead of frustration. Maybe it means coaching an employee instead of criticizing them. Maybe it means paying someone fairly. Maybe it means making the hard decision that protects your team instead of your own comfort. Leadership isn't measured by how many people work for you. Leadership is measured by how many people become healthier because you were leading them. So here's the challenge this week. Before every meeting, every phone call, every sales conversation, every employee interaction, I want you to try to pause just for 5 seconds and pray, Lord, help me see this person the way that you do. That's it. Watch what begins to happen. Because listen, when your perspective changes, your leadership changes. And when the leadership changes, the culture changes. And when the culture changes, your business inevitably changes. Jesus never asked Peter to abandon excellence. He asked Peter to expand his vision. Fishing was never the final destination, the people were. And maybe, just maybe, the business that God entrusted to you was never just about the product that you sell or the service you provide. Maybe your greatest ministry isn't on a stage. Maybe it's in your office or on your job site or behind the desk. Maybe it's inside every conversation that you have with each customer, employee, contractor, and client that God places on your path. Because leadership isn't about building a bigger business. It's about becoming the kind of leader that reflects Christ to his people he's entrusted in your care. And when you begin leading people instead of simply managing transactions, you'll discover that the greatest return on investment isn't found in your profit and loss statement. It's found in the lives that are forever changed because you chose to lead like Jesus. Thanks for joining me today. If this episode challenged you, share it with another business owner who needs the reminder in their business as well, because it's not just about making a living, it's about making an impact. Until next time, lead faithfully, steward wisely, and never forget the people are your mission.